Morning folks, how's it going? Just doing a kitchen clean up. I've been listening to Gary V, his podcast, and it was only a 5-minute clip, and it's Gary talking about lots of little clips of him talking about how to make it as an entrepreneur with your passion. And he said you could make $70,000 a year talking about the Smurfs. Now, as you know, my thing is guitar, and I've got an idea of just doing a kind of diary of a guitar teacher, because it's new to me and I don't know if there's value there or perhaps entertainment. But I suppose my goal at the moment is not to build a massive channel. My goal at the moment is to get more pupils. So instead of pretending that I know everything and only putting my best work out there, why don't I do a kind of blog, a video, LinkedIn, and document what it's like for me. An example being Thursday this week, where one of my pupils who's further on than I am in the rock school genre, so I'm really chasing oh dear, excuse me, chasing my tail, trying to get myself up to speed so that I can show this pupil what's going on. And I mean, I'm accomplished enough that it doesn't take me a great deal of time to learn the new material, but it's still a challenge to me. So this particular piece in question that I've been looking at with the pupil, I found extremely challenging, because it was doing a lot of big bends up sort of 13th fret, 16th fret, doing two-tone bends, which is quite a big bend for those that don't know. 2 whole tones is quite a big interval to be bending the strings. And what happened was the people didn't come. Now, I'd done a lot of work to prepare, and then the people didn't show up. So for the hour that would have been his lesson, I sat and practiced the bends, and by the end of the hour I had learned to do it. So that's an example of the kind of thing I'm looking at just now as a teacher, trying to learn the techniques in the short amount of time, and to use my time wisely, but also to put the work in, the prep work, because there's a lot of prep work. For 1 hour of tuition, I'm probably doing for some pupils 12 hours of practice and preparation. And I learned in the army the 7 P's. Prior planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance. So that's a thing I try and live by. I'm also taking lessons myself with Brian Sutton on the Bluegrass School over at Artist Works, and I'm passing on what I'm learning from him to my pupils, and that's exciting, because it means I'm having to thoroughly learn and practice each exercise and each piece of music to make sure that I've got it down well enough to teach, you see. And that's working well for me, and I'm enjoying it. This is my niche. It feels like a calling. I'm good with the kids, I'm good at teaching, I'm very patient. I think I explain things well, I demonstrate things well, and I'm passionate about it. I didn't know I was passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about guitar. And passing that on, I think, is something that's really, really worthwhile. Let me just talk about band night, which is a Tuesday night down with the high school kids. I teach Mondays, Thursdays, and on Tuesdays they do a band night. So this week I went down and they were jamming with Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana, Live Forever, Oasis. Now bear in mind these kids are from 12 to 17. So those tunes are not in their wheelhouse in terms of era, and it's encouraging to see that they're playing this kind of music, classic rock, which for me would be a bit older, but even Queen and stuff like that. I heard one of them talking about Under Pressure. One of them started noodling and he was playing Sultans of Swing, Dire Straits. And that kind of thing, it gives me real hope. You know, music has always given me hope, and it's probably now giving me more hope than ever before. One of the pupils was talking about some of the artists that he listens to. I can't remember the names. Should have made notes, but I didn't. But he's talking about, he played me one of the tunes actually on his phone, and it was very political. And I read an article in The Guardian last week about political songwriting, how it's sort of coming to the fore again. You know, back in my day it was like Billy Bragg, and I suppose even Bob Dylan was a kind of political songwriter. Political folk. The songwriting art form, the music, is a great way of expressing angst and disenchantment, and you know, I think that we will always have, I mean, art in general can be seen as a way of social commentary, but music in particular seems to be a great way of connecting people, and that's still going on now as much as ever, it just gives me so much hope, you know. So being able to be a part of that, to see it happening around me, and to be able to pass on my knowledge, this is a real privilege. So yeah, so back to the content thing. What I want to do is just build up enough of a base of pupils in my local area that I can start to make a living from. And I think social media, blogging, YouTube, maybe an audio podcast. I mean, I could put this out into an audio format and start publishing on Anchor, because that doesn't cost anything. Just growing my own sort of personal brand as a means of letting people see that I'm out there. I'm already publishing short lessons on YouTube and on Facebook. I even did a Facebook advertisement to the local area, the local postcode. So yeah, I think I got this. Listening to Gary Vee certainly encourages me to put the work in. Not that I need much encouragement, but to put more work in, I suppose. Well, here we are. This is 8 minutes I've been talking into my phone whilst doing the dishes. Wholly inspired by listening to Gary Vee's 5-minute long podcast, and I'm already longer than that chatting to this video as I clean up the kitchen. So I'll leave it there, I'll publish, and I'll say bye.